Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? I just came back from church not too long ago. I wanted to do a video on the Martin Luther King Jr. statue that has been built, the 30 feet statue that was built by this Chinese sculptor or artist named Li Yingxin or Yixin. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't pronounce it, but that's definitely him. President Obama spoke today on the behalf of this, amazing man. Of course, we all know Martin Luther King Jr., who was one of the most important people in our lives during the whole civil rights movement, and as we all know, as many of us all know. And what I really wanted to discuss was the fact that the critical part of it, the controversial part of it, on the behalf of Maya Angelou and a sculptor named Ed Dwight. He is a sculptor. He believed that the 30-foot statue should have been built in America by an American, and he just felt that the fact that we had a Chinese sculptor and it wasn't built in this country kind of takes away from the fact that Martin Luther King fought for this country in particular. But the sculptor who sculpted this, named Li Yingxin, he felt that, Martin Luther King did not only fight for civil rights and human rights only in America, but in the world, which I totally agree with. That was one of the main reasons why Martin Luther King won the Nobel Peace Prize. So I definitely agreed with the sculptor from China who sculpted this amazing 30 feet masterpiece. However, what Maya Angelou had a problem with was completely different. She had a problem with the quote. She felt like the quote that was put on the statue was misleading and made Martin Luther King feel arrogant. Now, what she stated, let me get down there real quick. The quote on the statue says, "I was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness." When the original words was from a 1968 sermon in Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, he said, "If you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice. Say that I was a drum major for peace. I was a drum major for righteousness. And all of the other shallow things will not matter." Now, I can understand that because she said the fact that it took out the word if you want to say that I was, compared to I was a drum major. Yeah, it does make him feel like, yes, I am this person and this is what I have accomplished and this is what I can do. The Maya Angelou, the quote could have been changed to just saying if I was. Like, if you want to put me in this position of what I am, then say this is what I am instead of saying this is what I am. So there is a difference between the fact that the word if was there in a word and if it wasn't there. So I can definitely understand where Maya Angelou was coming from, being that I am a big fan of hers, and I can definitely understand the reason why she had a problem with that. However, the fact that the sculptor who believed that the fact that the sculpture should have been built in America absolutely makes no sense, because whoever is qualified to do a superb job, maybe he wanted the job, who knows, who can do a superb job, deserved the right to make the sculpture. And as I don't think anybody has a problem with the fact that has a problem with it. It looks just like him. It holds him to a great respect, and the fact that it's 30 feet off the ground, you can't miss it. So and I feel like that it does a lot of justice for Martin Luther King and what he stood for. And some people seem to have a problem with the size. Some people feel like we can just have a regular, life-size statue of Martin Luther King compared to this big 30 feet statue as if he was some type of god. Now, I don't think that that's what the statue represents at all. I think it just represents the fact that this man was so influential in this country. Like I said, not only in this country but in the world. He was so influential worldwide that I guess the height of the statue really doesn't mean anything, but at the same time it kind of represents that, his value to the civil rights movement and to people around the world was just that much. So he deserves this huge statue of himself that represents so much. So everyone seems to have their own different perspective of what they believe. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King's son, Martin Luther King III, all support the statue and all, you know, feel like, you know, it represents Martin Luther King to the greatest potential. However, I do believe, again, I do agree with Maya Angelou when she said that, you know, the quote that was written on the statue does make him seem like an arrogant person, which he was which can technically be true. He had a little arrogance to himself, but he was confident. I don't appreciate the rewording because that's not what he said at the sermon. But at the same time, I guess they just wanted to make it seem like, you know, this is a man who deserved this type of recognition. So who knows, really? Where do you guys stand in this topic of Martin Luther King and this huge 30 feet statue? Do you agree? Do you disagree with the height? Do you agree with the quote? Do you care? Do you not care? Leave a comment below, and definitely subscribe to my channel and rate. And I'll see you guys around. Bye.